Every night it starts the same way. The lights go dim. The toys disappear. The day finally slows down. The clock says it's bedtime. And yet, sleep still doesn't happen. There is no screaming at first, no tantrums, no chaos, just delays. One more story, one more hug, one more glass of water that somehow didn't exist 5 minutes ago. It feels harmless, even a little funny. But night after night, bedtime quietly stops being rest and turns into a battle. Not a loud one, a draining one. And most parents never realize why. Because the struggle is not really about sleep. It's about comfort, control, and a child learning what bedtime takes away. In this video, we'll uncover why bedtime becomes so hard, what your child is truly asking for, and how these quiet nightly battles shape behavior far beyond sleep. Stay with me until the end, because the final insight explains why bedtime struggles are rarely about bedtime at all. Chapter 1. The innocent delay. At first, bedtime delays feel small, almost sweet.
One more story?
Okay, just one.
Then another request appears.
I need water.
All right, quickly.
And then,
I forgot my favorite toy.
none of these feel like problems. They feel like needs. So you meet them because you care, because you want bedtime to feel peaceful. But something quiet is happening. Your child is learning that bedtime is not a moment. It's a process that can be extended, negotiated, stretched. And once bedtime becomes flexible, sleep quietly stops being the goal. Connection becomes the goal. Chapter 2. When bedtime becomes a test. Children don't fight bedtime because they hate sleep. They fight it because bedtime feels like separation. The day ends. Control fades. Connection pauses. So they test. Not loudly. Not aggressively. Quietly.
If I ask again, will you stay?
Each delay is not defiance. It's reassurance. But when reassurance only comes through staying awake, the child learns something powerful.
Staying awake keeps them close.
So bedtime stretches. Not because the child wants control. Not because they are being difficult. But because sleep now feels like something that takes connection away. And without realizing it, bedtime becomes a test. Not of obedience, but of closeness. Chapter 3. When parents give in without meaning to. Most parents don't give in because they are weak. They give in because they are tired. It's late. You've had a long day. Your patience is thin. Peace feels more important than patterns. So you bend the rules. Tonight becomes different from last night. And tomorrow becomes uncertain. Your child notices. Not consciously. Instinctively.
If I push gently, the rules move.
And consistency disappears quietly. Not with a decision, but with exhaustion. Chapter 4. The hidden lesson bedtime teaches. Bedtime teaches more than sleep. It teaches boundaries, predictability, emotional safety. When bedtime changes every night, children don't relax. They stay alert.
I need to stay awake, to stay connected.
So the body resists rest. The mind stays active, and sleep begins to feel unsafe. From the outside, it looks like misbehavior. Inside, it's insecurity. Chapter 5. When uncertainty trains the child to stay alert. A predictable bedtime calms the nervous system. An unpredictable one activates it. So the longer bedtime feels uncertain, the more effort children use to control it. More questions, more needs, more resistance. Not because they want power, but because routine was never solid.
If I fall asleep, something might change. If I stay awake, I stay in control.
So the child listens closely. Footsteps in the hallway, voices in the other room. Every sound matters. Sleep becomes something to guard against, not something to surrender to. A child stays awake, not because they don't need rest, but because they don't feel safe letting go. And a nervous system that stays alert at night cannot fully rest, even when the lights are off. Chapter 6. How bedtime battles shape daytime behavior. What happens at night does not stay at night. When bedtime feels like a struggle, children carry that tension into the day. They wake up tired, but also guarded. Transitions become harder. Frustration comes faster. Emotions spill more easily. Not because the child is difficult, but because their system never fully reset.
I have to stay prepared. Things change quickly.
A child who fights sleep at night often struggles with control during the day. They resist transitions. They push boundaries. They cling harder, not out of defiance, but out of habit. Because nighttime taught them that connection must be protected, and rest cannot be trusted. And slowly, bedtime battles become behavior patterns, patterns that look unrelated, but all trace back to how safe the child feels. When the day finally ends. Chapter 7. how to end the battle without breaking connection. The goal is not to force sleep. It's to make bedtime feel safe again. Not with pressure, but with predictability. Start with one simple promise. Bedtime will happen the same way every night. Same steps, same order, same ending. And when your child asks again, you don't argue. You don't explain. You repeat the routine. Calmly, gently, every time.
If you stay steady, maybe I don't have to keep testing.
Give connection before the battle begins. 10 minutes of full attention. No phone. No multitasking. Just presence. Because children don't need endless delays. They need to feel filled up before separation. And when the requests keep coming, you can respond with warmth, without extending the night.
I hear you. I love you. It's bedtime now.
At first, they may resist harder. Not because it's getting worse, but because the old pattern is ending. But if you stay consistent, something powerful happens. Bedtime stops being a negotiation and becomes a signal of safety, because the child finally learns this. Sleep does not take connection away. It simply pauses the day, and your love is still there in the morning. Final thought. Your child doesn't need a perfect bedtime. They need a safe one. Safe to know what comes next. Safe to let go of the day. Safe to rest without holding on. Bedtime is not about winning. It's about guiding. It's about showing your child, night after night, that connection doesn't disappear when the lights go off. Because when children trust the routine, they stop fighting the night. So the real question is not, how do I make my child sleep? The real question is this: have I made bedtime feel predictable enough for my child to finally let go? If this video made you pause and reflect, and these parenting conversations matter to you, subscribe and stay with us. And tell us in the comments, what is the most unusual excuse your child uses to avoid bedtime? Because peaceful nights begin with understanding what children are really asking for.